hold up. This next post is something that a lady who lives here in Merida, she is an immigrant as well, a black immigrant. She's been living here for about 2 years. She used to live in Thailand. She's lived all over the world. Look at what she posted yesterday. Y'all pause to read this, please, and thank you. Okay.
Hold up. That we gotta read that? Am I gonna keep skipping?
Realize that a lot of the shortages, shootings, chaos in general in the United States is completely fabricated to get. And you guys could be like, oh, she hates the United States because she moved to Mexico. I hated the United States before I left to move away from the United States. In full transparency, I used to be like a lot of y'all, afraid, stuck in a cycle, in survival mode, crab in the bucket mentality. All of those things have affected me. Internal racism, all of that. That's why I talk shit about it, because I've experienced it and I can speak on it from a place of knowing and understanding because I get it. But let me tell y'all something. Also, when I go to the grocery store and go to the baby aisle, there is no baby formula shortage over here. Not one. But also, I'm in a country that also promotes breastfeeding. Now, every woman can't breastfeed. I am very well aware of that. But in general, I'm in a country that promotes whole practices. These people really be taking care of their kids. I'm saying, like, teaching them stuff outside at parks. I've never seen so many people in a park before in my life. And I'm just telling y'all that and showing y'all real life examples outside of my own judgment, because I want y'all to see that there are places in the world that are way better than the United States when it comes to caring and quality of life. A lot of you guys get stuck on the USD and needing to grind culture. Grind culture and capitalism is not going to save black people. And because most of my messages, actually all of my messages are specifically for black people, if we going to get real specific, black women, I have to say this and let y'all understand. You can thrive elsewhere. You just have to have the plan to thrive elsewhere. Don't tell me you can't thrive elsewhere, because right now, you are in a fabricated matrix that is getting you to react a certain way. The shootings are not going to stop. The racism's not going to stop. The shortages are not going to stop. From here to you. Keep that in mind, okay?
Really expensive here. Like, it's quite easy for me to spend more money on rent than my entire cost of living per month in Croatia or Portugal. I pay more for just utilities here than I spent renting a 4-bedroom house in a vineyard in Montenegro.
Brings me to reason number 2, or I like to say red flag number 2. You cannot survive financially in the United States. Now, what has happened in the United States over the past 2 years with inflation has been out of control. But the United States has always been a very expensive place to live and to survive and have a good quality of life. But if you are finding it harder and harder to survive in the U.S. financially, then this may be a red flag of reasons why you should leave. And I'll give you an example of the type of person that may find it virtually impossible to survive financially in the United States. And it is a person that is living off of Social Security. If you are a retiree and you are only receiving the average Social Security check of $1,500 a month, how can you survive financially in the United States? In some places in the United States, $1,500 a month can't even pay your rent. So if you are finding it hard to survive financially in the United States, that means you don't have enough money maybe for food, for clothing, for rent, for healthcare, all of these things that are integral to living a life of quality. Now, if you've been following our channel, you know that our family of 4 lives here in Portugal for less than $2,000 a month. In fact, there have been some months where we've only spent $1,000. Now, we know people personally that live here on less than $1,000 a month, that have wonderful homes, that have a high quality of life, that have the freedom in their budget to do things, to entertain themselves, to travel, to eat good, All of these things that would be too expensive to do in a place like the United States, someone is able to do them here in Portugal. But that's also the case in places like when we lived in Japan, when we lived in Thailand, when we lived in Spain. It was the same situation. The cost of living in those other countries was far more reasonable than what it was in the United States.